Out there. Mark Abrams here with female sensation junior lightweight Alycia Baumgardner. Alycia, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me.
What's been going on since obviously things have shut down in the last couple months? Obviously, I know this thing has affected you more than most, and we'll get into that in a second. But what have you been doing in terms of being able to stay in shape, getting ready for a fight, and that situation?
Yeah, so during this time, I think the most important part is staying active, and that's just like being outside, going for a walk, going for a run. I've been able to stay active physically, so that's great. And then the other part is just um, working on um, things that I want to accomplish, like writing some goals down, some things I want to accomplish by the end of the year. And so just staying active really mentally, just to keep myself occupied.
Have you been able? I know they say that the gyms are closed, but have you been able to sneak into a gym here and there?
Yeah, I have
I won't tell
actually.
nobody.
Right. Yeah, I have. And so that's what's nice. I can continue doing what I love, and that's, staying active in the sport and just making sure that I'm keeping my muscles warmed.
And obviously, the thing we just touched upon very early in this COVID 19, which has hit you very personally, your trainer. Everyone knew him as also Tony Harrison's father and trainer in Detroit, passed away. Talk about that, that going through all that. I mean, I know trainers are like father figures as well as being your coach. So talk about that situation.
Yeah, so meeting Coach Ali was just a blessing within itself. He was everything I always wanted in a coach. He gave me so much knowledge in the short period of time that I was with him, and so I was very thankful for that. He was actually in my corner or my third fight. My last fight with him was in Harrisburg when I was the main event. So having him there, that was awesome. And the boxing community took a loss as well. And so we all been able to stick together and to continue to uplift each other, because we know that's what coach would want, and not get too down and in a sad spot. So we keep the good memories rolling, and it's tough, and I do miss him a lot. But I'm very thankful for the time that I did have with him. So.
And in terms of, we talked for a couple minutes before we came on. You're at least going to be able to keep some continuity in your team as your assistant trainer, his assistant trainer. It will now take over the lead in the corner.
Yeah, yep. That's LJ Harrison. So he's been he was our strength and conditioning, making sure that we're prepared for our fights, and he's an awesome coach as is. So it's important to have that person in your corner that's going to give direct directions, and he's really good at doing that. So I built my team, and they're just like family. So it's really nice that we're still going to keep that bond, and keep Coach Ali, keep him happy. So.
You mentioned like family, and I know he hasn't talked much, but how's Tony Harrison doing?
He's doing good. Like I mentioned, we all get together um every day actually to go work out. So we're all staying active and just, uplifting each other as much as we can. So that's nice.
130 pounds. You've ascended to be one of the top fighters in that division. When everything gets back to normal or somewhat normal, when we're allowed to fight again and everything, what are you looking to do with your first two, three fights out?
Yeah, so hopefully we can get this last fight rescheduled in Detroit. It was supposed to be at Motor City Casino. So hopefully we can get that rescheduled. Um, that was the fight that we were looking forward to. But again, just whatever my promotional company, my manager has for me, and what we want to accomplish by the end of the year, because the year's not over. This is just a little setback, and I know that we will continue doing what we have to do to make sure that I stay relevant and stay active.
I know with talking to some other fighters, they expect to maybe get calls, you know, 3, 4 weeks before possible fights. That's something that maybe that you may have to do, and that's why you've been pretty aggressive in staying in the gym situation.
Right. Yeah. We know that's possible. We had that option actually come up, and for me, it has to be, it has to make sense. Who I am as a fighter and what I represent are important to me. When I step into the ring, I want to give the best Alycia, the best athlete, 100% of me, knowing that I'm confident in everything across the board. So those fights can come up, but it's also important that I know where I want to go long term and not take something so short term. Do you know what I'm saying? So I just know the fighter that I am in just the product that I bring to this sport. So, you got to think smart when you're making those type of decisions.
At 130 pounds, maybe, and I know I've talked to you before, you said in the right situation, 130, you'd go to 135 if it was the right situation.
These are good fights. These are good quality fights. And again, we always put on great shows. So the promotion has to be important just as much. So anybody at one, I'm not ducking nobody, but again, it still has to make sense on that end.
You mentioned about you'll fight any of these girls out there and whatnot. I've been interviewing a couple other quality female fighters, and there's 2020. There's so many excellent fighters out there, female fighters compared to maybe 5, 7, 8 years ago. Do you see that not just in your division but in divisions around you?
I do. Girls, even in the amateurs, I see like gyms, just a girls' gym. I think that's awesome because I never seen that as a young girl growing up. So the women are definitely here to prove something to themselves and to the boxing community that, we do the same thing that you do. So give us just the same opportunity.
You feel that's an influx because the Olympic movement, the last couple Olympic games, there's been more quality fighters that have that are now in the pro ranks. Is that, you think, the biggest reason why, and they keep women's boxing in the Olympics? It'll continue to grow even more.
Yeah, absolutely. I think when you continue to do that, you set an example for the younger generation, and I think the upcoming girls as myself, Clarissa, Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano, those us women are able to be reflection to the younger girls coming up, and they need to put that and showcase that so young girls are looking up to that.
That's terrific. Anything before we ask you to say something in closing? You're very social media. You're very active on. See, where do we find Alycia the Baumgardner if we want to follow her, and see what you're up to?
Yeah, so you can follow me on Instagram at Alycia Baumgardner. I'm on Twitter at Alycia M Baum. And my birthday's Sunday. I'm going to be 26, so I'm bringing in this quarantine birthday.
I had a quarantine birthday too, so I mean it's
right.
Not quite the same, but you have a very happy birthday, and I know we're going to see you as soon as the fight